I move to approve the consent agenda.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
I will call for the vote. Alderman Boyd,
Yes.
Alderwoman Cisco,
Yes.
Alderwoman Dunn,
Yes.
Alderman Whalen.
Yes.
All right, next item up is public comment. We have only one tonight. That'd be Mr. Fleetwood, talk about fire hydrant and leak protection program. Come on up, sir, you have 3 minutes.
Yes, you want me to use a microphone?
Yeah,
Okay. Can you hear me all right?
yeah.
Okay. First of all, I think where there's public complaint, there must also be public praise. And I would like to praise Mr. Payne on getting that fire hydrant replaced. I understand he was pretty new to the job when I brought the issue up before you all, and he probably was unaware of it. But I think it's appropriate for, me to make the complaint. He also deserves the praise that he should get. My second thing is this proposed leak protection program that's being proposed, or I'm not certain what the status of this is, but under 4A, it talks about meters, and I'm just wondering if it's the city meter that counts, or if individuals need to also purchase a personal meter to install into their house. Under section 5, I'm curious as to how much of the bill will be covered under that section. And then under section 8, I'm just curious as to how that bill would be paid. The language in it to me seems very confusing, and I would be okay because I have a 12-month history and we would be able to get an average from that. But for people who have 3 months or less, I'm just curious as to if they develop a leak, how that bill would be covered under this protection plan. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Playboy. All right, moving right along. Next item up is the request for road closure. David Little and Burgundy.
Burgundy.
Oh, okay.
You guys know us probably from last year. I came to ask again for permission from the city, so we'll be able to have Summerfest and Oktoberfest this year downtown, like we do every year. This year it's June 8th. I was supposed to be on the addendum for last meeting, but something got mixed up. That's why I'm here today, asking permission. And it's at June 8th from 6 to noon. Noon to 6. I had 6 to noon in my head, but it's from noon to 6.
What street closures?
It would be 4th and 5th, right around the horseshoe, right around the courthouse.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, so it'd be 4th Street and Iron Street
And
Fifth
5th,
Street. Okay.
yeah.
All right, this time do
I have a question real quick.
Oh,
before we
yeah, okay.
Make a motion if you don't mind, Mayor.
I was gonna ask you.
Last year, it was a great event. I was able to swing by and see how many booths you guys had, and it was phenomenal.
Thank you.
I don't know if there's a way for you guys to be able to do, if the rest of the board votes to move forward with the street closure, if there's a way to do a street sweep through across every event. I know that we had a lot of trash left.
Was there
last year.
trash? I wasn't there last time. Usually
Yeah.
me and a couple other people were
Yeah.
we have a couple bags with us and we're always
Right.
picking up trash and there's a big trash bin.
Yeah.
I apologize for
But
that.
that's okay. I just remember that being a big concern last
Yeah.
year after the event.
We'll
was
make
there
sure
was a
it's
lot
cleaned
of-
up,
there
for
was a lot
sure,
of stuff
not a
left
problem.
behind. Awesome.
Anybody else have any questions? This time do we have a motion to accept the street closure?
I would move to approve the street closure for the Summerfest.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
All right. Call for the vote. Alderwoman Cisco,
Yes.
Alderman Boyd,
Yes.
Alderman Whalen,
Yes.
and Alderwoman Dunn.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Next item up is bids, transformer bids.
So I'm asking to be able to purchase a larger amount of transformers at one time, because usually when I call, they'll have them this week. And I'll call next week and they'll say, well, we don't have any. It's gonna be 12 to 14 weeks before we have any more ready to go. So what I'm asking for is approval to be able, when I call, if they say they have, that's the prices on them, not to exceed 20,000, to be able to order that and have them coming, because we need them for inventory, whether it's storm related, equipment failure,
Yeah.
age of it,
Number of rows.
just to have it on hand. So that's what current prices are from the two companies that we deal with mainly. They may change by the time I call them back. That was last week. So we all know the storms from this weekend, because they ship everywhere across the United States, and that depends a lot on what we get and when we get it.
So looking at our financials, looks like we have 30,000 currently budgeted for transformers.
Yes, sir.
Under the electric DNR fund, and it looks like we've only spent $3,600 of it, so there's quite a bit left in this current fiscal year's budget, and I'm assuming, I haven't looked at our proposed budget, I know that's still in the works for next year, but do we remember what that number is?
It's probably gonna be
About the
close to
same.
the same, because you never know what's gonna happen. These are just what we use most of the time. This is mostly residential stuff. If it's bigger than that, the price goes up, just keeps climbing. So it could be, I've just currently got a price on some 100 KVAs, and they're roughly right around $3,500 a piece. So just to give you an idea.
All right, does anybody else have any questions? Do I have a motion to approve the transformer bid agreement?
I'll make a motion, we approve.
Is there a specific vendor that you're just,
Either vendor's fine, whichever one's cheaper at the time is who I will order from.
okay, oh,
Test, okay. So what we're looking at, because electric prices on electrical components are fluctuating so rapidly, and they're changing, we can't get a bid that will be good by the time it gets to you guys. So what Josh is asking for is approval to go outside of our normal purchasing policy, and you guys approve a not to exceed number so that he can go ahead and purchase them when he gets a bid. So, and so that'll be the same case on the poles, the next item.
so not to exceed the budgeted amount.
Or the amount he has in.
Yeah, I don't wanna, what I put in there will put us in a good place. That way we have a little wiggle room if something happens before the budget ends, which I hope and pray that doesn't happen, but.
Yeah, you'll see, he's not asking for the full budgeted amount, he's asking for 20,000.
Sure. I'll second the motion.
Any further discussion? Sure. All right, call for the vote. Alderman Whalen,
Yes.
Alderman Bolerjack,
Yes.
Alderwoman Cisco,
Yes.
and Alderwoman Dent.
Yes.
Thank you. Next up is the electric poles bid.
So this is gonna be the same type of deal that the polls, the last time I called, which was probably a month ago, that I actually called and talked to Bridgewell. That's when all the storms were starting, and they were just slammed. He said, I can't even give you a date to even tell you when to even expect them, because he said they're just going out as fast as we can load trucks. I emailed them last week, and this is what they told me. He said that they've pretty well caught back up, and they're within a 1 to 2 weeks, both companies are, of being able to ship from order. It's the same type of deal where they ship everywhere in the world, just depends on what the weather is. So I'm asking again, like Sally had mentioned, to be able to purchase not to exceed amount. Same thing, 20,000, we still have 30,000 in that budgeted for that, so just to give us some wiggle room if something does happen.
Any discussion? Do I have a motion for the electric pole bid?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
I will call for the vote. Alderman Boyd,
Yes.
Alderwoman Cisco,
Yes.
Alderwoman Dent,
Yes.
and Alderman Whalen.
Yes.
All right, thank you, Josh.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks, Josh.
Next up is the TAP downtown project bid approval.
I think so.
Yeah, he's,
Okay, so this project, this is the second time this year that we've seen bids come before you all. We did need to rebid last time because it was caught that it wasn't properly advertised. So we went back out, properly advertised it, and then we had 3 bidders who submitted bids on it this time. And you'll see those are listed in your packet there. So those Hessling Construction, their bid came in the amount of $688,524. Magi Construction at $582,353, and UDT Construction at $508,944. So this is a request for concurrence has been submitted to MoDOT at this time. Current funding, you see we have that detailed out. We had the original TAP funding was accepted by the city on June 1st, 21. The amount of $346,780, excuse me. And then on March 26th of this year, the board approved additional funding available through MoDOT, which brought the total grant funding to $476,618. So you'll see total cost of the project at this time. This is what we're seeing with all construction projects, is estimated to be $712,924, with the city's anticipated share being $236,306. Now that includes the city's match for the grant, as well as the light poles and the light fixtures, which were held out separate. They weren't part of the grant itself. Okay. Other questions for the board? Again, if the board chooses to approve a bid, the motion would need to state pending MoDOT's concurrence.
is there any discussion? The board. This time, do I have a motion for the TAP downtown project? Well, since there is no motion for the downtown project, bid approval, it would be dies for lack of a motion. Motion. Next item up is new miscellaneous business. We have resolution number 12-2024.
You want it, Tim? Go.
Resolution number 12-2024, a resolution authorizing the mayor to execute a 1-year memorandum of understanding between the city of Salem, Missouri and the Board of Governors of Missouri State University West Plains Adult Education and Literacy AEL program to allow a classroom space of 36 by 12 feet at Old City Hall, 202 North Washington Street, to be used for purposes of conducting activities associated with the educational programs delivered by the university for the AEL program.
Thank you.
So this memorandum of understanding, the AEL program is the Adult Education and Literacy Program. So, you know, in past history, it's known as GED, sometimes it's called HiSET. We do have Pat Todd here, who is the instructor of the program with us this evening. And so, obviously this provides a service to our community. This has been a long-standing agreement. I know they've been with us for several years. So I would stand for any questions that the board might have.
Any questions from the board? Do I have a motion for resolution number 12-2024?
I have a motion, we approve it.
I'll second.
And I will call for the vote. Alderman Whalen,
Yes.
Alderman Boyd,
Yes.
Alderwoman Dent,
Yes.
and Alderwoman Cisco.
Yes.
Thank you. Next item up is the reading of bills, the first reading for bill number 3609. Two, second reading. All right, I got it marked as first reading. All right, second reading. Need some blind out over here.
Bill number 3609, an ordinance amending section 140-060 of the City Code of the City of Salem, Missouri regarding the creation and membership of the Airport Advisory Board, whereas it is deemed necessary by the Board of Aldermen to adjust the membership of the Airport Advisory Board to better serve the needs of the city's airport.
Thank you. This time, do I have a motion for bill number 3609?
I'd move to approve bill number 3609.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Any discussion? Now I'll call for the vote. Alderwoman Cisco,
Yes.
Alderman Boyd,
Yes.
Alderwoman Dent,
Yes.
and Alderman Whalen.
Yes.
Almost went with woman. Next up is reports of city officials, boards, and committees. Ms. Burbridge, you're up first again.
No report this evening, Mayor.
Thank you. And I have no report as well. Next person up is Mr. Payne.
Good evening, Alderman, Mayor. Let's see, for the past couple weeks, water. Thank you, Mr. Fleetwood. Fire hydrant was placed over at West Dent and South Henderson Street along with water main repair in the same intersection. That work's being done in preparation for new pavement. We're doing what we can with the manpower we have to ensure that road is ready for a new top coat. So, let's see, water, several sewer issues repaired, cleaned out, over 20 locates conducted, daily lift station inspections being done on 8 lift stations. That's every day around the city, making sure those are functioning correctly. Samples ran for the wastewater treatment plant, and all the lawn maintenance stuff for those different facilities. Water service van, checking all well readings, chlorine residuals, meter checks, meter swaps, reads, and other issue repairs. And the meter service van guy, Will, does a great job of making sure if I need him somewhere quick, he can get there and get it done. Electric department worked call outs from the storm winds, updated inventory on all poles, transformers per Alderman request. Multiple locates, street lights replaced, and working with Four Rivers engineers to set up their new power in the coming year when they're gonna be building out over there. So, what's that?
March is when they're gonna be open.
March. So, working closely with them to get that set up. Construction crew worked on facilities at the park, Flagpole, there were some flagpoles that were a little, ropes were a little tattered. They took care of that. Started large curb apron job on Acuff Street. Home over there had been taking on what looked like a small pond worth of water every time we had a rainstorm for 30 years, and apparently the occupants never complained, so we're taking care of that at this point. They took care of their mowing for the week. Backfilled topsoil. You see some curb projects that needed backfilling with topsoil and whatnot. Streets, yard waste area maintenance. Our mulch pile is almost not smoking anymore. It almost burned through totally. Responded to a large downed tree over on Dent Ford Road. That was an impressive quick removal. Streets, they're getting out doing the road side mowing and stuff. Sweeping streets, clean out street storm water drop-ins. Airport lawn maintenance. The mechanic's been working on gate repair at the shooting range, lawnmower repairs, vac truck repairs. That guy stays busy. Wastewater treatment plant, typical plant operation, plant repairs, lawn maintenance, sample preparations, delivery. And just, that was a quick rundown of what everybody's taking care of. Big shout out to all the crews that came together on Wednesday the 22nd and did a big push to get the Cedar Grove Cemetery ready for Memorial Day. It was the best display of teamwork I've seen in several years. I remember we were we're all out there weed eating, and then it looked like 30-35 people converging on the last bit of it and taking care of it. So next year I'll try to work to get some drone footage of that, because I want to make sure the public understands where a lot of that tax money goes to maintaining 33 acres of graves or of stones and 40 acres of maintenance out there. That's a big job that we're taking care of. So thanks to all that worked hard at it leading up to the big push as well. So did you have any questions for me?
Steve, I was out at the cemetery yesterday,
Yes, sir.
and over in the old section over there, looks like there's some erosion over there, some water running through on some grave sites where there's a ditch going through. I can't tell you exactly where, but if you drive over there, you can see it. I don't know what's changed in recent years, but something maybe surrounding outside the cemetery boundaries.
Gotcha. Some of the heavier rains maybe have pushed the water
We have
through.
an obligation to keep those grave sites.
All right. We'll take a look at it. A fact I didn't know about until we were out there doing maintenance. I guess in 1928 we had a tornado go through there and take out headstones adjacent to Sonic through that area, so you're missing a lot of gravestones in that area. It's pretty wild. But yes, I'll get my crews over there, take a look at it, make sure we take care of erosion.
Thank you, Steve.
Steve, I just want to thank you and your guys. It was nice to see that Facebook post out on the Facebook. Just seeing them hard at work, and it was greatly appreciated to go by and visit graves this weekend, and knowing that it was very well maintained and taken care of. I know you guys clean up a lot of flowers that shouldn't be there, or have blown off due to storms, and so it's very much appreciated that it's well kept and taken care of. And I want to thank Mr. Jarvis for all the years and hours that he does put into that cemetery. I know that he takes that job very seriously, so thank you.
Thank you. I'll pass that along. I think a lot of folks don't know that, there's questions about why the big push on the 22nd, obviously in preparation for Memorial Day. It's a big job to get all of it done. But the two gentlemen that are out there working, Mr. Jarvis and Mike, they are basically working in a counterclockwise fashion, just trying to keep up, the two of them. So they're constantly asking for help, and so we break off a crew member from streets to go and help on a regular basis. So, awesome.
And all that rain really doesn't help, does it?
It has been a really wet year, and the grass is just going wild. So everywhere we're seeing it all across Salem. So
There wasn't no damage or anything from all these previous storms out there, was there?
no, we have a lot of like you stated, flowers that blow around, but there's a lot of light, those little solar light things that get blown around, and things that people put out in memoriam to their family members, and it's hard because you collect that stuff up, you're trying to mow around it, and you don't want them to lose that, but when the winds rip through, that stuff,
You really don't have too much of an option.
right.
Okay, I just want to make sure no one's family's headstone or anything like that wasn't destroyed.
No.
Okay.
This next question may be directed towards Tanya or Sally, but if you can answer it, go ahead, Steve. I had somebody ask me, I didn't realize that there are items that we ask not to put on grave sites. I had somebody ask me where they can find that list,
I have the cemetery policy up there.
so they can stop by or email you. Okay, thank you.
So you're trying to pick up those things out of the stakes in the ground, and so you can mow around them or weed eat and make it look nice, and some of it's, it's not supposed to be there, first off, and then it crumbles in your hand, and you can only jam so much in your pockets while you're trying to weed eat, so it's a big job, so.
I think some people just don't realize that there is a policy on that. I did not, so when they reached out to me, I'm like, what? But I did reach out and ask, and they said just ask up there. So I just want to make sure to direct them to the correct person and not send them in a big chase.
They can contact me. It is extremely difficult for our employees to mow around all of those items. And we do have signs up that states those need to be removed before mowing season, and then they can put them back.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll just add to that quickly. Part of the main reason for that is maintenance. Like Steve said, if you're having to pick that stuff up and mow or weed eat around it, and if anyone has ever been to some of the large military cemeteries, they don't allow anything. So just to, anyway, risk of sharing too much. A few years ago, I had a nephew who was in the service who, anyway, passed away, and there were no decorations allowed on those headstones or on those graves, and it's for maintenance purposes. So, yeah.
All right. Anybody else got any questions for Steve? All right, thank you, sir.
Thanks, Steve.
Next up, Ms. Stacy Houston.
So just an update on our sales tax revenues that has been received through May of this fiscal year. So May tax revenue, we are up 9% from May of last year. That comparison excludes the additional 1% since we did not have that May of last year. Year to date, we are slightly up with around 1% for the same time frame as last year. General fund sales tax revenues year to date through May, we have brought in just under 2.2 million, with 749,000 of that being the additional sales tax revenue. Parks and Rec, we're around 528,000 year to date, and then on capital improvement, we brought in 704,000 year to date. And then anyone who likes to look at graphs, it's just a comparison from the couple past years. The light blue dotted line includes the additional sales tax. Okay, an overall look at the utility usage and revenues, and this is through the end of April. Electric kilowatts sold is around 42.9 million kilowatt hours. That is down around 5% from the same time frame as last year. Electric sales is just under 6.1 million in revenues. Purchase of power, we have paid out 3.9 million year to date. That's just around 16,000 less than what we spent the same time frame as last year. Water consumption, we billed just over 105 million gallons. That is down compared to same time frame as last year. Water sales is at 677,000 in revenue sales. And then on sewer consumption billed, we have billed out around 96.3 million gallons. That equates to about 886,000 in sewer revenues. Okay, and this page is a list of all of the city funds with the beginning balances as of July 1st of this fiscal year, then the revenues and expenditures through the end of April, and then on the very last column, it shows the ending balance in each fund as of April 30th. With, if you scroll down to the very bottom, comes to 10.1 million combined of all funds. And this page shows the total fund revenues and expenditures compared to what we had budgeted. So for revenues, we have brought in 72% of what we had budgeted for the year, and we have expended 64% of what we have budgeted. And these numbers are through April. We are 83% of the budget year. In both revenue and expenditures, we are not closer to what we have budgeted because of the grant projects that we have going. We anticipated to be further along than what we are now, so we haven't spent out or received revenues as we anticipated. And that's all I have, if you have any questions.
Any of the other board have any questions?
Okay.
Thank you, Steve.
Thank you.
Alright, next up is the board reports. I'm gonna start with the other end. Alright, Alderwoman Dent, do you have anything to report? It's already on, my bad.
It's on.
It's on? Yeah. It's already on.
I have no report.
Alderman Whalen,
None at this time.
Alderman Bullardale?
The only thing I have is there will be a capital improvement workshop this Thursday at 6 p.m. at the Armory, and this will be with the Capital Improvement Committee and the Board of Aldermen. And that's all I have to report on.
Alderwoman Cisco.
Thank you. Hey Josh, on 603 East 3rd Street, she is requesting that a light be put back there. I guess the previous owner had requested that it be taken down. She is asking if we can put that up. I guess there's children that live across the street and riding their bikes through there. So she was just wondering if we could stop in and put a light back up for her for protection of those kids.
She can come make me a work order.
Yeah, she needs to stop by the utility office and do a work order.
Okay, can I not request the work order, or how does that work?
It really needs to be the homeowner who requests
She's
that.
claiming she did that back
Like how long
when
ago?
Mark was the public works director. Her name's Sandy.
We can look and
Okay.
see, if you'll text me or email me that information.
Yeah.
Then we'll look and see if there's one, otherwise if we don't, and I'll let you know, but if we don't have one, we'll need her to come fill one out.
Okay, so she will have to put that request in, not me.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, you don't
Um,
want random people requesting things for your house, do you?
They can if they want,
Okay.
as long as it's for the benefit.
I'll be in there tomorrow.
And then the last thing that I have is T-ball season, baseball season's upon us. Melissa does plan on putting out the map through Facebook and other avenues to be able to get the word out. But whenever you pull into the park for your games, if you can just stick to parking on the right side of the street and then exit out past the skate park and the pool, that's gonna prevent from a lot of traffic building up and hopefully prevent somebody getting hit or damaging your vehicle. So that's all I have tonight.
Are you sure?
Mhm.
That's very, okay. Last item up is closed session for attorney-client privilege. Do I have a motion to go into closed session?
Make a motion, we go into closed session.
Do I have a second?
I second the motion.
All right, we'll call for the vote. Alderman Whalen,
Yes.
Alderwoman Dent,
Yes.
Alderwoman Cisco,
Yes.
and Alderman Bullardale.
Yes.
Thank you all.